the UK is going to have a drought this summer, and privatised water companies are to blame. Has anyone else not had any rain for 2 months? I was fussing over my 3 tomato plants the other day, and I was wondering who I should blame for this. And I realised I should blame my water company. We should all blame our water companies. Deep in my bones, I know it's them. So obviously, the heating and extreme weather that is causing droughts in the UK is mostly down to climate change. Can we really blame water companies for climate change? Kind of, yes. So the privatisation of utilities in the UK allowed a massive shift in wealth from public to private hands. And it also allowed private companies to use our utilities as financial tools. They could load them up with debt, take that money, do what they like with it. The hedge fund that owned Thames Water, Macquarie, creamed the profits off the top, loaded it up with £16 billion of debt, and invested the money themselves in oil and gas, which obviously is contributing a lot to climate change. They also recently quit their own climate investment pledges. Now, if our utilities were still owned by the public, we'd have control over the decisions they make, and that would be key in getting them to reduce their emissions and adapting to the effects of climate change. But they're not. They're owned by private companies, and half of the world's biggest private companies have set no emissions targets whatsoever. Their shareholders at the big energy giants are demanding that these companies scrap their paltry green investment plans altogether because they want bigger profits in the short term. But water companies are most to blame for how much we're going to feel the effects of this drought. I have here a quote from lobbyists for privatised water, which says, "The water companies in the private sector are uniquely placed to tackle the effects of climate change." Now let's go over the ways in which water companies in this country are tackling the effects of climate change. They have built no new reservoirs in their entire 30 years of existence. They have allowed 1 trillion litres of water to leak every single year from their pipes. They have created the worst sewage dumping crisis in Europe, and in return, they have taken £85.2 billion of dividends. That's not even counting the boss bonuses. So that's why I'm blaming my water company for killing my tomato plants. Thames Water, man. Even when it wasn't them, I knew it was them.